Hey guys, it's Steven and hope you guys are enjoying. On the last video I did Legendary Star-Lord issue 5. I really liked it, and next we're coming with X-Men 4. Sometimes I thought, why don't I get tired of doing these reviews, but it's not a time to get tired, it's time to explore more and more action comics and more amazing stories. X-Men issue 4 by Brian Wood and David Lopez is an issue in which the X-Men recover and regroup, a resting place between the first arc and the upcoming Battle of the Atom crossover. These interludes can feel like filler, and unfortunately X-Men 4 is a somewhat aimless issue. So how is that? Background music, yeah, I know it's not kind of a good. So Wood races to the central conflicts, but neither resolves nor advances either in a satisfying way. The settling alternatives between Jubilee, Shogo, and Wolverine hanging out peacefully in California, and the rest of the team flying above the Sierra Nevada mountains. Jubilee and Shogo's trip around California with Wolverine is warm and fuzzy, but the bland dialogue, filled with the usual sentiments about family and responsibility, is ultimately forgettable, because I don't like it that much on that way. But here is the illustrations and kind of things. Your gods will not forgive what you have done kind of thing is a really kind of threat that we like it. And here's the tiger character that is almost the turtles kind of it's a tiger character was there. It's kind of same thing that was Tiger Claw, and this is also almost the same design, but I'm not gonna go criticize about the character designs. I don't have permission about this one, but Mr. Tiger here is a good thought, and it's a kick-ass character, I have to admit. So the other major plot point is the philosophical schism and power struggle between Storm and Rachel Grey over Storm's decision making regarding Karima Shapander, while the moral disagreement over the use of lethal force is always relevant to superhero comics. Wood doesn't add anything new philosophically. The leadership struggle has the potential to be juicy, but just ends up being an imitation of the older power struggles and moral differences, most notably the long-standing dislike between Cyclops and Wolverine. Aurora and Rachel's face-off feels stale and tailored to deliberately drive up tension instead of an organic extension of genuine personality differences. It's nice that their interaction passes the Bechdel test, but it doesn't feel distinctive, natural, or electric. Wood is known for intense character-focused stories, so it's a surprise that the plot tension in X-Men issue 4 feel loose and the action feels predictable, even forced. The dialogue when Storm rescues Rogue is heavy-handed with sentimentality bordering on triad. The thread that is supposed to be the climax, one of the X-Men falling into space from an airplane, is small peanuts compared to what any of these women have faced alone before, and what results is lack of suspense. That's the thing. So here it's a good action comics. I can say about that one, but I don't like the story that much, but I like it. It's okay. So Lopez's artwork doesn't have Coipel's elegant compositions, but his feel for action is solid. There's a lot of movement as 5 women move around the plane, arguing and pulling off acrobatics feats, and Lopez pulls it off. His facial expressions and body language are weaker, though Jubilee's face doesn't show enough emotion, and her extended sequence with Wolverine relies on Woody's chatty, slow dialogue for its effects. In the mountains, the facial expressions show a lot of surprise and shock, but they feel slightly overwrought. So in that kind of thing, I can say that this is a decent issue, not more than that, but it's okay, and it's worth reading because no issue is not worth the rating kind of reading kind of thing. So that's a pretty great. Lopez draws a intricate background detail in the California scenes, including Jubilee's tattoos, pleasantly crowded interiors, and architectural elements. That's a pretty great thing, and that's pretty daring. But the mountain scenes are stark and sparse, focusing only on human figures and the plain. Peter colors California in bright, warm, transparent tones, while the Sierra Nevada is dominated by gloomy grays. Thus, both pencils and colors highlight the contrast between California warmth, mountain cold, safety versus danger. On the positive side, the reader is never lost. However, the visual contrast brings up the question of why these two stories kind of are juxtaposed and interwoven at all. The two contrast, the two situations are only weakly connected by Wood's themes about rescue and family. While the back and forth is executed just fine, the events don't feel significant enough to justify that why this technique was used. The best moments of X-Men issue 4 are smaller, like when Kitty and Rogue rib Psylocke about her love life, or Shogo's silly baby facial expressions on the beach or in a restaurant. In upcoming issues of X-Men, Wood will probably return to a story more likely tightly wound action of the story arc. So that's it, but it would be good to see more of this kind of grace and humor as part of his characterization strategy. So thanks for watching. Hit the like button and share it, and if you like the comics, just go to the store and buy it. Adios.